I am Devin Chester. I'm the Director of Business Development here at All Points Digital. I have with me today Heather Hamrick. She is our Director of SEO. And today we're talking about cohesion. So, in previous conversations, we've talked about some of the updates in the world of SEO and the importance in today's world around site speed and the impact that can have on SEO and rank. And one of the points you brought up that I thought was really important was the cohesion and collaboration between your web dev team and your SEO team to make sure that that site speed component is being considered across both of those teams. Now, on the theme of cohesion and collaboration, what other teams within a digital marketing organization or a business in general do you think are essential for an SEO team to be working sort of side by side or tied to the hip with, and why?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's super important if you're running, strategy across multiple channels, to be tied at the hip also to the paid search team. I've seen time and time again when these teams are siloed, there's a lot of lack of communication, that can actually be harmful and be a waste of money for the client. So one thing here at APD we really like to do is be connected at the hip with paid search regarding what keywords we're going after, what words they're buying, and where organic search can take the lead. So, for example, some brands, um, they don't need to protect their branded term with paid search because organic owns the space on page one and position one. So there is definitely some cohesion that needs to happen there to make sure, paid search shows up where organic may not be as strong and vice versa. Where organic is very strong, you may not need to cover the bases from a paid search perspective. And in the end, the client wins by having a broader audience and even saving dollars for some of those keywords that may be more competitive.
Yeah. Thing that hits upon saving money for a client is obviously a big win. I think the other piece
Exactly.
I've always found really interesting is that um, in both teams, on your SEO team and your SEM team, your paid ad team, you're both going to be doing research into, what your ideal prospect is looking for, what they may be clicking on, and both of those teams insights. So the activity on your website, what pages are performing well, what terms are performing well, what topics are performing well, influencing that PPC dollars and the tactics we're applying to those campaigns, and vice versa. What's working well on the paid side, and should some of those topics or terms be applied on the site itself? Um,
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot that goes into, keyword research on both sides and they can influence each other. Looking at position ranks for organic and paid search is super important to see where we're winning and where we can, pump more dollars into or, maybe create additional organic assets to bolster those rankings.